Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to be talking about some DCEU news regarding the reboot and what the Flash movie is going to be doing for the DCEU as a whole. I'll also be talking about the future of the DCEU, my thoughts on it, and how this will impact the Batman universe that Matt Reeves is building. I know that I don't talk about the DCEU and DCEU news that much, but this is another excuse to talk about the Batman, so I might as well. Before we get into it, if you guys are new in here and you enjoy these videos where I literally just talk about superheroes and other movie news, make sure that subscribe button and turn notifications on so you don't miss any time I upload a video or I go live. But don't waste any more time, let's get into it. So all of this information and tweets and just everything that I'm talking about today is coming from a Twitter user called My Time to Shine Hello. He has been right about a bunch of stuff in the past, and I know Grace Randolph also tweeted about these things, but I don't believe a single thing that comes from her account. To her credit, she is right sometimes, but most of the time she's not. She literally called Wonder Woman 1984 a reboot movie for the DCEU, so I'm not believing anything she says, but I think this account is pretty real and pretty accurate. So I'm going to go ahead and believe this one. Again, believe it if you want to, don't believe it if you don't want to. It's up to you. There's a few sets of tweets that I wanted to go over, but starting off with the first one, he said, I don't usually tweet about DC stuff, but I have a friend who has seen The Flash and said the movie will erase every movie Snyder has done. Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, and Justice League never happened now. Erased from the continuity, Affleck and Cavill are both gone. Now, this hurts me, but it doesn't hurt me that much. It's what we got after this that hurt me a lot more. I'm fine with seeing Cavill gone. I'm fine with seeing Affleck gone. I'm fine with the Snyder movies being erased. I don't mind that. I don't think it's a good idea, by the way. I don't want them to do it, but I don't mind it. Like, it's okay that they do it. It's not really going to impact me that much, as I'm not the biggest Batman or Superman fan, like, in general. Obviously, I'm hyped for the Batman, but that's just because of who's involved in it. I'm more of a Spider-Man fan or anything Marvel fan than a DC fan, but I'll still enjoy a good Batman movie, which I think the Batman will be. So this doesn't necessarily impact me personally, but I understand where a lot of people are getting mad. If they're erasing the continuity from something that the person, like Zack Snyder started the DCEU, and if they're erasing his continuity, I feel like that's just really, like, I don't think that's a good move. I think that's so stupid. Just have them, like, go to a different multiverse, or have the DCEU take place in a different multiverse. You're technically keeping the continuity of that and not completely erasing it, and still honoring the work and the hours and everything that Zack Snyder put into his movie. Now, a part of the reason why I'm still on the fence about this is because Zack Snyder's initial plan was only 5 movies long, and it wasn't even to build a big fleshed out universe, which is probably what Warner Brothers wanted to do if they were starting the DC extended universe with Wonder Woman, Aquaman, all these other heroes. So if Zack Snyder either didn't tell Warner Brothers his whole plan, or Warner Brothers heard his plan and then just went behind his back and made other movies within the universe, we don't know what really happened here. At least I don't. Maybe some information has come out about it. If you do know more information about it, please let me know in the comments down below. But from what I know, Zack Snyder only had a 5-movie plan, so his universe was going to be ended anyway. But that's really besides the point. I just wanted to bring that up because I felt like that was kind of interesting that he didn't even think of a long-term plan. Like, he only wanted a small contained universe, and look at what the DCU has become. So this is where I get kind of pissed, okay? So basically, My Shine of Time retweeted his other tweet, and he basically said, Supergirl is now the main soups of Earth. Keaton is Batman, and Batgirl will become the new Batman after her film. This really gets me mad, because here's the thing. First of all, I'm not gonna go around saying, oh, this is just so woke, this is so woke.
Remember how I told you this whole female empowerment thing?
But the fact that they're just trying to replace them is kind of stupid to me. Like, I don't understand why they're trying to replace them so fast. Like, ease into the multiverse stuff if you're gonna do that in the first place. I don't care who it is that's replacing the role, but also it just feels weird that they're doing it so fast. Like, in one movie, everything's gonna be gone. It's all gonna be changed. I don't know. I don't really like this, and this is why I hope they keep Matt Reeves as the Batman out of all of this. And the next tweet is why I want them to keep him out of it even more. He retweeted that last tweet and said the movie ends with Flash and Supergirl and Shazam forming a new Justice League. I don't mind that they're forming a new Justice League. I just don't want Matt Reeves as Batman to be part of this Justice League. So basically, the rest of this video is just going to be me planning out what I think the Batman universe is going to do, how the DCEU is going to work, and then how they're going to work adjacently. So the way I think it's going to go is basically, I think the Batman universe is going to be fleshed out on its own thing with all the HBO Max shows, all of these like crazy high budget things that they're going to start pumping money into after I think that the Batman will be successful. So I think the Batman will be a thing on its own. I think the DCEU will also be a thing on its own, but I think that the DCEU won't be anything super massive. I think it's just going to be a bunch of like world building, smaller things. Like, they're just going to try to get stuff going, and then eventually I think Warner Brothers is just going to turn to the Matt Reeves universe and be like, okay, Matt Reeves, we're going to use your universe to introduce a new Justice League. And that's what I don't want to do. I've had this rant a few times on the channel, but I'll bring it up again here. I don't want the Batman being with other Justice League characters, because even in Zack Snyder's Justice League, he was so lame compared to the other heroes. All the other heroes, literally Superman's an alien. He's a god. Wonder Woman's basically invincible. Aquaman's basically invincible. The Flash is basically invincible in live action, I'm saying. But the Batman, all he does is like grapple, and he has a car. Like, that's all he can do compared to these other heroes and all these other massive scale things going on. So I don't want him with these other gods. Like, give him grounded heroes and villains. Like, I would love Harley Quinn and Joker in the Batman movies, but I don't want Superman, I don't want Wonder Woman, I don't want all these mythos gods coming into his movies. So that's what I'm really scared for, is that down the line, they're just going to take the reins away from Matt Reeves, and they're just going to be like, okay, Matt Reeves, you're done here. You've made like, what, 5 movies, you made a few TV shows, now we're just going to take the reins from you. We're going to take your universe, and we're just going to use your universe to do whatever we want, since it's already basically fleshed out. I don't know, I'm just really scared for that. And there's also one more thing that I have pulled up. So basically, My Time to Shine retweeted this, and so Dave F. Sandberg, who works on Shazam, as I was editing this video, I found out that Dave F. Sandberg is the director of Shazam and Shazam Fury of the Gods, which makes this news even crazier to me. He's not just some random dude working in post-production or some producer. He is the writer and director, and he did not know what I was about to say. He said Shazam is joining the Justice League. 2022 is starting off with some great news. So the fact that this guy that works on Shazam learned this for the first time through all of these leaks, that's crazy. And then someone retweeted it saying, I don't think he's trolling. He might genuinely be hearing this for the first time. I mean, he doesn't even know what's happening in his own little Shazam world. And then the quote underneath says, no, I've never met or spoken to him. He's talking about Dwayne The Rock Johnson. I don't even know what's happening with the Black Adam movie, and that's a Shazam character. So I'm not really in the loop of these things. I've just seen Snyder's movies and made Shazam as if those events were real, but also DC toys exist. This is very worrisome to me, because the people working on their own movies don't even know what's going on in the universe. That is how a universe fails, and that's why the DCEU has been failing for so long. We're coming up on almost the 9th year anniversary on Man of Steel. I personally am not a big fan of Man of Steel. I'm not a big fan of BVS. I'm going to rewatch both movies, but I'm still not a fan of both of them. I'm not a fan of Zack Snyder's Justice League that much. I think it's a great movie. It's just too long for my taste. But it's just so crazy to me that the people working within the DCEU don't know what they're doing. And this, again, just really worries me for the future of the DCEU. I don't know what they're going to do, and I'm just because if you think about it, right, Shazam 2, Black Adam, these movies could be phenomenal. Black Adam #1 on its own, I think, is going to be great. I think Shazam 2 is going to be great because Shazam 1 was awesome. And it just sucks that they have to be in the continuity of all these other stupid DCEU reboots and projects, and they're just so negatively affected by all of this other stuff just because they're in the same universe. Like, if Shazam was on its own, it would probably be so much better if he wasn't forced into the Justice League or anything like that. And also, I don't understand why DC or Warner Brothers doesn't just let DC do solo entity movies, like solo IP movies. Like, the Joker was so good and it didn't have any other connection, and that's what made it so good. We didn't rely on seeing Bruce Wayne a million times in the movie. We saw Bruce like once or twice in the movie, and that's it. And that's what I like so much about the Batman. It's just by itself. I mean, obviously they're building a world in and of itself, and that's fine, but that's not what this first movie is about. This first movie is about the Batman himself. It's not about Batman and Superman. We're getting a fleshed out origin tale of how Batman is created. We know we're skipping through like the moment where his parents die and he's been Batman for a little bit. He still has that anger, but we're seeing the real side of Batman, the real conflict within Batman as a human, and that's what's really interesting. We're not going straight to the Superman fights, Wonder Woman fights, teaming up with the Justice League. Like, we're getting to understand this character, and that's what DC and Warner Brothers doesn't understand with their DCEU. I don't know why they're forcing a universe. I don't know what their plan is, if they even have a plan. They didn't have a plan from the beginning, obviously, because Zack Snyder wanted 5 movies. They're well past 5 movies, and they're not even Zack Snyder's 5 movies. There is just so much like crap going on in the DCEU. I'm gonna watch the movies. They're not on my must-watch list. Black Adam, I'm super excited for, but a new Justice League movie, that wouldn't even make my top 10 for a year, whereas if it was well thought out and actually well planned out, it would probably be my top 5 most anticipated in a year. I'm still excited for the Batman. I'm scared they're gonna screw it up super super far down the line, I'm not worried for now. I mean, because apparently right now Matt Reeves has like 80+% control. Like he has all of the creative reins, and that's the only reason he signed on with Warner Brothers. I'm just scared down the line Warner Brothers is going to do some crap to Matt Reeves and it's going to screw everything up. But yeah, guys, that's basically it for this video. I just wanted to go on a little rant, talk about the DCEU. I'm excited for some of these individual movies. I'm excited for the Batman, of course, but I just don't know what they're doing with their whole bringing the universe together, Justice League type of thing. It's nothing's really making sense to me personally. Let me know what you guys think of all this DCEU news in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace.